Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the 2021 Spring Board Meeting of the IEEE Montreal section. This is our first board meeting of the year with the new team. Of course, Hussein has been here for a long time and the most experienced one. And so we have a lot of things in our agenda. I'll share this slide. Okay. And so let's first start with the approval of agenda. If you have any complaint about it or if you have any comment. No? Fine.
Question about the AGM. Is it, are we doing anything from now or that could start later on?
I just open to discussion at the end. We can discuss about it if you have any idea, if anyone has any idea.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes, thanks. I move.
Okay.
Me too.
Okay. Then let's go to the approval of minutes of the previous meeting. Mohammed, do you have it or Hussein?
Just a minute. Hussein, do you have the last meeting minutes? I'm just want to make sure that
work through it. Give me some moments.
Yeah.
Okay, till I think you find it. Let's see if anyone who wants to leave early has any updates. And because I heard that some of you want to leave early. Yeah, Ander, you wanted to leave at 7, I think. Yeah?
Okay.
Yes.
Anyway, I have as you know, working with New Zealand, so I am supposed to work late up to 1 or 2 o'clock after midnight because we have 18 hours difference of time.
Oh, wow.
We have meeting next after a few minutes. For the communication chapter and information theory, I think we are doing well. We organize another meeting on 27 with shared with the broadcast BTS chapter. In March 11, I think we should advertise with that event. I think we have a new chair for the BTS, Mr. Guy Bouchard, but it's not here today apparently. Yeah? Guy is here? No, but he took over from Manjeh Khatai. So that's good because she's really very busy teaching day and night. So I think Guy will be good replacement. And we will have some more activities, but as I said, because of my traveling, it will be a little difficult. But I hope we'll try with the virtual to do something more active. But again, as you know, Hamid Azad, these activities with the Ashutosh related to this forum that is supposed to be in Montreal. So we'll try to help, but that's a good activity for communication group.
Yeah.
And also for students enrollment, I don't know if we got any people benefiting from that, those offers that they were putting forward to increase the student membership. Now, the other thing is about I encourage about the ICF people to approach for application for projects and financial support that they need. So they should go to ICF website, and there are what's called the the workshops that every university has. So student members can benefit from many offerings, special projects. So that's, I am a liaison for ICF to Montreal, and also from liaison for IEEE Canada. So if there is anything that you want to share with me, I can pass on to the team. And if you need any help, you can send me email. I will try to help as much as I can. And what else? What the awards committees so far? Anyway, we'll see for this year how we proceed for attracting more people for gold medal or other activities within the section. So that's all I can say right now. But just if there is any question, I can jump in.
Yeah. Thank you. I have a quick question about that ICF. So there is a requirement that if you want to apply for funding for a project, you have to be a student, or no? Anyone like who's an IEEE member can apply for that.
If you are not IEEE member, I don't think there is such a requirement. But at least if usually applications is not individual. I mean, scholarships are individual, and that for sure you should be a IEEE member. But the special projects like AI projects or some remote control type of things that are happening a lot, usually is a teamwork, and at least one of the team member if he's member, so that helps. But we would like to encourage the students to be members, and it's not difficult to be members. So I think I suggest to be member, but I don't think there is a hard requirement for that.
Okay.
Dr. Nader, can you put
Yes.
the link? Can you put the link in the chat? Please.
Yes, I will. After this meeting, I will pass it on. Yes.
Thank you.
Sure.
Okay. Any other question from another? No?
Oh yeah. Okay. Thanks.
Thank you.
Mansour helps. So, Mr. Fadul, you saw the link that Mansour?
Yes. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Yes, it's a IEEE Canadian Foundation.
Yes.
Thank you very much.
So anyone else who wants to leave early?
So I am not at home. I think I have to to go home before 8. So you know the situation.
Okay. Yeah. So you have updates, Fadul? You want to present something?
Yes, Professor Ambrish is not here, so I am presenting IEEE PS.
Okay, I'll
Montreal
make you
section.
the co-host. So I should stop sharing and then you share, or?
Yes, so I am sharing. Yes. So I have 3 minutes, I think, no? Or 4.
Yeah. Yeah, go ahead.
So good evening, everyone. Nice to see you. So I am the vice chair of IEEE Power Energy Society. So Professor Ambrish is the chair of the PS. So me, I am also the vice president of GSE Solution. This company is designing a microgrid system dedicated for research and education. So we're selling some product for ETS, École de Technologie Supérieure. So 2020 was a specific year, but we did some activities, about 5 lectures. So microgrid stability definition and analysis is given by Dr. Mustafa from Ottawa. and the waveform synthesizer is quantum standard. So Joseph, arbitrary doctor from Australia, and also Professor Saifur Rahman. He gave a lecture for PS in the smart grid system, and also we organized the IEEE annual general meeting. So 2020, it was Montreal, like Montreal organized this big conference, general meeting about 4,000, but because of COVID-19, everything was canceled. But we did it virtually. It was so difficult, but we found a solution. We also created IEEE's student branch at École de Technologie Supérieure. So, as I said, the main issue for 2020 was the cancellation of IEEE PS annual general meeting that Montreal had been waiting for years. So however, in coordination with IEEE PS central office, our Montreal team had quickly found a solution to handle the event virtually. So several thousand people from all over the world attended the event. Despite the difficult situation linked to the COVID-19 pandemic, so our team was able to organize many beneficial events in 2020. So about 5 lecture, and we created the student branch for IEEE PS. So for 2021, we are planning to make many other activities. So we'll invite lectures to give more activity online, and maybe if everything will be okay, so we can organize ETS, Polytechnic Superior, some physical meeting for students and IEEE members. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Fadim.
I need to leave early as well.
Oh, okay.
So I have to stop.
Do you have presentation, Diana?
Yes,
need to
yes.
co-host. Sure. Go ahead. You can share your screen.
I know Diana.
Well, I was the vice chair of the IEEE site Montreal, but since this week, I'm the new chair. Unfortunately, Salam cannot continue as a chair, so I'll be taking this position, although I don't have time.
Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Thank you. I'm looking for another person who has more time than me, but I don't want to let this group die. So I'm taking this position for now. And as you may know, I'm working as a software QA analyst at Algolux, a startup about computer vision for autonomous driving systems. And with the pandemic, I'm working half time. Last year, even if we were only 3 active people in the group, we were able to organize 2 events. One of the virtual events was about challenges and stories of artificial intelligence in humanitarian technology. And this was to celebrate the IEEE Site Day. It was in April. And we had the great opportunity to invite the IEEE site chair and another outstanding speaker. She was the CEO of the AI Alliance. And then in December, we organized another event about artificial intelligence with this time 4 outstanding speakers to celebrate the IEEE Site Week. And they were from academia and industry. It was very interesting to have these distinguished lecturers, and this motivated us to continue focusing on this subject. And there are volunteers as well that are interested in artificial intelligence for humanitarian technology. And in fact, we have recorded the videos, and they are in the digital classroom of IEEE site for the first event, and the other one in our webpage and YouTube, if you want to.
These presentations were virtual or?
Yes, both okay. Presentations were virtual.
And in December, you had 2 days?
Yes.
Okay, very good, bravo.
And well, the key issues, mainly because of the pandemic, we couldn't organize a design jam event with Hacking Hell and a clinic because, well, they were not there and they didn't have time, many issues. So anyway, thanks to Moin, he contacted all the people, but we couldn't organize it. So we decided to focus on artificial intelligence. And this has been a good idea. We have new collaborations now. We are planning now a competition to detect COVID with computer vision. We need to confirm, but one of the speakers of the last event from the University of Waterloo, he seems very interested in organizing such a competition. So we are trying to do that. And in our plans, there is also another event about smart devices and smart homes for senior people. So, and we are trying to recruit more volunteers, and now we have a new secretary. I think the first time we have a secretary for a long time, and the social media manager became our vice chair. I don't know if he's here, Mohammed. Are you there?
Yeah.
No?
Hi everyone.
So you can introduce yourself if you want. And well, for now, that's it.
Very nice, bravo.
Very good. Very interesting subject, like using computer vision. We want to detect COVID, yeah?
That's marvelous.
Yeah. So thank you very much, Diana. I see that you have a social media specialist. So IEEE Montreal is looking for a social media specialist.
No, we don't have now because he's.
It's been a long time that we are looking for someone. If Mohammed is interested at the same time. Mohammed, where are you?
I'm here, so.
Mohammed, oh, Mohammed, I thought that's another one. I didn't see your face.
Oh, okay. So yes, specify. I guess there are around 1 billion Mohammed all around.
Yeah. I thought that's another Mohammed who's doing the social media job.
Yes, there is another
one.
Yeah, it's me. Okay. I'm here.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So then I was right. Yeah. So are you interested to like be the specialist for IEEE Montreal section for the social media?
Actually, I'm vice chair on IEEE site and also the social media and webmaster there. So I guess I'm totally overloaded right now. Yeah.
Okay. Let's discuss it after.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Who should, if we have some ideas of some volunteers for you, how should we notify you?
Yeah, we have.
Yeah, we have our website, so it would be great that you contact us through our website.
Okay.
And there is also an email for IEEE Sign Montreal is IEEE.site@gmail, and I can share with you the web page.
Okay. Good, thanks.
Okay, if no one else wants to present and leaves early, we can go through the minutes that I have received right now. I'll share it with you, and very quickly we can go through it. You see my screen?
Yes.
Okay. So this is the meetings from the last board meeting, and so just very quickly I go through it, and I will share it with you all, but we can go through it and see if you have any comments and questions. So the agenda is pretty much similar, and yeah, then we had like the section updates. We will go through the section updates in a minute. So then financial updates, section vitality, and yeah, and so on. So I'll share this with you because I just received it, and let's go back to the. Do you see now my screen or not? No?
No, not yet.
Okay.
We see it now.
Okay. So let's go through the section strategies in 2021. So mostly because of the current pandemic, all the events are organized virtually. This has been like prepared before by Saida and the team, but we have to go through it again because it's very important to keep the section active with all the events for all the students branches, affinity groups, and also chapters. So 2 events are necessary for each affinity or student branches and so on. So it's very important to report your submit your reports through WeTools. We have noticed, like by the end of 2020, that more than 10 of the events in 2020 there was no report submitted. So I believe Saida and Hussein they did it themselves. So please after your events submit the report. This is very important. And so the strategies again this year, because I believe by the end of 2021 we cannot have any in-person meetings, so all the events should be virtual. And this is not good in one case, but this is good because you don't have to like reserve any room or like pay for transportation and also accommodation of your guests. And also you have a flexible schedule for them. They can talk at different times. And also you can invite speakers from around the world. This is very important, like the meeting that Diana was mentioned before, it was I think Alexander one was in Waterloo, and that was really good, like very interesting subjects with very knowledgeable people. You can find speakers and organize your events. And another important thing is that section will support and provide you with the virtual meeting room. This is very important. We have the Zoom account. If you have any event, just send an email to Mohammed and he provides you with the link. Also, you can use Google Meet, which can support almost 100 participants for your events. And the other thing, which is very important also, is to share your events like ahead of time, like a month or 2 months before on different social medias. We have Facebook pages, we have Twitter account, and also LinkedIn. So it's very good to advertise your events, and then you can have more participants, not only from Montreal, from different cities from around the world. So if you have any comments on these strategies or any suggestions, it's very good to share it with everyone. No? Okay. So then, yeah.
I wonder, like, do you want to keep it like in 100 maximum participant capacity?
For the Zoom account?
Yes, because we had a problem with that. We got almost 300 participants in one of those events, and we faced a lot of problems. I didn't know that the Zoom account that you have doesn't support more than 100. So I think Saida was there, and it was really a disaster in the middle of the event.
You know,
Yes, I've raised this issue in our last ExCom meeting in December. But we cannot go like, we cannot have more than 300 participants on Zoom.
Of course, there is possibility to request from IEEE to provide WebEx platform.
Yes, we have to pay for the license for Zoom, but we can request a WebEx link.
Now our limitation is 100 or 300?
Hussein, would you please confirm?
If you allow me, I will get to this point later on in the slides. It's going to be afterwards in section vitality. I will go over this in detail.
Okay, because I didn't understand, Mansour, once you had more than 100 or you had more than 300?
No, he had more than 300. It was a very successful event. It was an international workshop.
Okay, great, great.
Yeah, very nice.
Because I thought if you want a license with more than 100, we have one in for the INRS. I can like share the link with you if you want. But if it's on more than 300, it's you need WebEx.
Yeah, we used WebEx, and it was a very successful event, and it was convenient for over 300 people joining the event.
Yes,
so
I had.
For big events, we can use WebEx for the moment, and we will listen to Hussein later for to share with us his updates.
Okay, great.
Yeah. Let us we'll hand it to Hussein later to discuss about this. Okay, so for the updates from student branches, so let's start with Concordia. I don't know if anyone is
yes.
here.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yeah.
This is Eddie speaking. So would I be able to share my screen for the small presentation?
Sure.
Perfect.
Go ahead.
Thank you. Just a moment. Sorry about that. Okay. Can you see my screen?
Yes.
Yes.
Perfect. So, hi everyone. My name is Eddie. I'm an undergraduate student at Concordia. I'm also the chair of IEEE Concordia, specifically student branch. I'm actually graduating this year, hopefully, and I'm working on a project in robotics and machine learning. This is my final project for the semester. So for the year of, well, for the past year that's been happening, we all know we've been facing we've been faced with COVID and faced with a lot of issues, but we're adapting, and this is something always required. So we're actually making a new virtual competition based on simulations of systems. That way we attract more students to know and learn about IEEE. That way they start joining and learn more and more about IEEE. We're hosting our usual competition in May, which is Warhacks. All of this is going to be opened on vTools once the time comes. We're hosting more tutorials as opposed to previous terms, and we're actually getting more and more people, which is great. Lastly, yeah, we are using social medias that are very familiar with students nowadays. So Instagram is one thing that's never mentioned. Like people normally mention Facebook and Twitter. Instagram is bringing also more and more people to like it's shedding more light on it. Things that haven't been going well, we had to cancel a lot of things, but that's just expected. And at first, we didn't have many means of communication with other member societies. And when I say communications, I don't mean just like spreading news. I mean actual conversations. So we're actually leveraging another social media famous between undergraduate students, which is known as Discord. And we've been getting more and more people. So this is something that we're changing from bad to good. This is mainly the updates that we have. We did host IEEE Extreme actually last semester, and that went well online with the help of other student branches. So that's basically the whole update on Concordia. I will stop sharing my screen.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah, how are you finding Discord as sort of setting things up?
Honestly, it's very simple to set up. There's no issues there. But since undergraduate students are very familiar with it, this does bring in more people. We haven't had any issues so far with it. Everything's been just good. But we're also not using any bots and whatnot for security, like to keep it secure to some extent.
So how are you managing who can join the platform, I guess, is the next question.
How can you join the platform?
How do you manage like members onto your Discord platform?
You can actually manage everything related to each member. So you can assign between titles, accesses, you can keep privacy and whatnot. Like we haven't had any issues with that sense. Other than that, you obviously need to moderate channels, but that's just any other platform.
Congratulations. Thank you.
Thanks.
It's Amy. How are you juggling the different platforms? Like, how do you know if you're going to have, like, what platform you're going to use for a discussion?
So when it comes to actual just communication with students, we are going for Discord, like I said, because students are very familiar with it now. But we're still posting on Facebook, we're still posting on Twitter, all the announcements still happen there. We're not also limited to Discord. We can use just any other platform. So Zoom is an option, Google Meets is an option. Those are all still on the table. We didn't get rid of them, but instead we just added an extra option.
Okay, so you're not using Discord for live discussions.
No, well, sometimes yes, because the option is there and you can all like open your video, you can share your screen. Those are still options. So sometimes we do.
So you just have a chat going on Discord?
There are chats, yes. So people can join and then we just manage who's there, who's not. You can like move people or remove people if need be.
Yeah, no, I'm familiar with it. I'm just not getting a feel for if you have a chat on Discord, you have another thing going on another one. How are people?
Oh,
that's my concern.
So in terms of events, you mean?
Well, just general, like, are you having general discussions going on all these different fronts, which may be a good idea, like, or?
That is a good idea. Not always. Sometimes we do have some discussions, but people are encouraged to join right now Discord, since we're kind of trying to grow the amount of people we talk to and reach.
Okay. Good.
Do you have a link to your Discord, Elie, in the chat?
I believe it's on our website, if I'm not mistaken, which is actually concordia.ca.
Thank you.
We're still updating the website. There's a few things to fix up. I don't see it now. It will be added by tonight. So that's basically it. We're we did change the website over the past year. I believe it was mentioned in previous AGMs, which is why I didn't mention it now. So there's still some links to fix up.
And Discord keeps track of all the old messages, yeah?
Yes, there's a history.
Yeah, that's very good. This is good for this is good for I wanted to discuss it with Hossein for our ExCom meetings. That's because we want to keep track of everything. That's a good choice even.
Yeah, it's basically, in terms of looks and usability, it's like Slack. But you're able to make calls, share video, share screen. Furthermore, it's easier to do those.
Yeah, and it's good to keep the old messages, because it's like it doesn't,
Yeah, there's a limit on messages.
What we found with Discord, I've tried to use it with through my company at the beginning, and I don't know if it's improved over the year, but we found that there was a lot of problems with the video, with it hanging, with delays and everything. That it wasn't as good at dealing with the bandwidth as some of the other platforms. So we ended up having to abandon it, but maybe they've improved.
I personally haven't had issues with that sense, so I don't know. Maybe it was a previous issue that has been fixed, but I think when the pandemic started, the growth of usability had forced them to improve it, if I'm not mistaken. Okay. So I can tell you now, we haven't had issues, and everything has been rolling smoothly.
Okay, great.
All right.
Thanks, Elie.
Thank you.
Elie, if I may, I have a question for you.
Yes.
It's not pertaining to the discussion we had here, but it's regarding IEEE Extreme that was organized last year.
Yes.
If I remember correctly, there were some expenses that were supposed to be claimed from the section, but I was never informed of them. There were supposed to be some expenses for the individual teams.
We were having some issues with actually getting having them paid, so we didn't end up actually purchasing those expenses. So the budget was not used. The budget is still there. Okay. That's basically what happened, and which is why you never received them. So I should have informed you. I apologize about this. Noted for next time.
Okay, sounds good. I just wondering if it got lost in somewhere and you were expecting something. But
perfect.
All good.
So the next student branch, McGill, Rohita, are you there? I think McGill had an election. No news. So, okay. For INRS, Moin, do you have? Do you want to share your screen or?
Yeah, I have two slides. If I can share them.
Go ahead.
Okay, now you're seeing my screen, yes?
Yes.
Okay, so let me minimize this. Okay, so hello everyone, I'm Moin Firsi, the chair of Are you seeing my screen? Because I thought I heard something. Okay.
No, we see it, yeah.
Okay, good. Hello everyone, I'm Moin Firsi, chair of IEEE student branch in INRS EMT, and I'm PhD student in INRS MT doing my PhD in telecommunication engineering. And I started last week in a phonics company as an RF intern. And that's about like my biography. And about our events since last BOT, we did some webinars in collaboration with the nanotechnology group student chapter in Montreal. We had a webinar on nanoplasmonics and one in black phosphorus and related to nanotechnology. And then we had another a webinar with a speaker from US, and he was with the Amazon Lab 126, working on electrostatic discharging, sorry. And we had an event in collaboration with a young professional, with the Mansour and the young professional affinity group of the Ottawa, and also student branch in Polytechnic about 5G beamforming. And on February 2nd in 2021. And last week we had a workshop, a one-day workshop in collaboration with the Keysight, that we had another speaker from Keysight ESOF team in the US talking about the AEL programming on ADS. We did it on February 9th, again in collaboration with the IEEE student branch in Polytechnic and MTT Society in Montreal, and also STARCOM. We had around 60 person attended the workshop, and I think it was a successful event. And for our future events, we are arranging like a meeting to discuss our events with our volunteering team in the branch. So that's it from our side.
Yeah, great. Thank you, Moin. As Diana mentioned, you're also an IEEE site volunteer.
Yes.
And I should also add that Moin has agreed to be the IEEE student branch coordinator, and that's another volunteer position that Moin is going to start.
Yeah, sure. I would be happy to help and to help the section. I hope I can do a good job. Yeah, you're welcome. My pleasure.
Sure. Thank you. And the next one is for Polytechnic. Is Youssef here to update about the election, or?
I don't think he is here, but I received an email. I think everyone received it yesterday that there was like an invitation for election. So I think they are doing the election.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. And for the UCAM, we still don't have any updates or any, I think the student branch is active student branch.
And what about ETS?
Oh, I missed ETS in the middle. Yeah, anyone from ETS, Kristen? Yeah, I was in contact with them about that, the order that they and the events, but I haven't received any reply, and no one is here.
Has the ExCom agreed on their request?
No, that's why the order was declined. And yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, the issue is, maybe I can raise it up here. The issue is we need anytime there is any funds that are requested to be deducted from the section, we need a budget to be approved by the ExCom. So if there's any student branch that likes to order, label pins or maybe IEEE banners from IEEE, you are more than welcome to do so. But first, you need to pass it through the section. Once we approve it, then the amounts can be deducted. So it's a typical procedure that needs to be followed.
And I think that we should follow up also with McGill and Poly regarding their elections, so that they can start organizing their events, and we will see Moin.
Yeah.
Okay. And for Abhishek, I don't think that he's still in the team of the student activities team. I think that Moin, he replaces, actually Moin replaces Abhishek.
Okay.
So we need to add Moin onto these rules, and so he's officially added under the student activities chair position.
Yeah, Moin will be monitoring the work of all students' branches of the section. And he will be sharing the updates of the region, etc., with all students' branches of the section instead of Avishek.
Maureen, if you can send your IEEE number to either Mohammed or me, and maybe we can add you to eTools and add you as the student activities chair.
Okay, sure.
And I think that Moin, you will be helping ETS to like they need training, how to organize events, what is the budget, etc.
Sure, of course.
Maybe you can organize a Zoom meeting with Christian and all the team in order to guide them in that way.
Of course, sure.
Thank you.
Yeah, okay. Let's go to the chapters and the affinity groups. We start with young professional. Mansour, you're here. You want to share your screen? Mansour, I saw him. Are you there?
I'm sorry, I need a couple of more minutes. If there's someone to proceed, please go ahead.
Sure. And for the site, I think Diana already updated us. And then Women in Engineering, Saida, you want to go ahead? And
Yes, and I have a request from Tarek Gerafi. He's asking about, he wants to give his updates regarding his the events of his chapter.
Okay.
Sorry, I was late. I am. Anyway, I will take time. I'll be here in time.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you. I need to be a co-host, please.
Yes, you are.
So this will stop your screen sharing.
Yeah, you can share it.
Okay. Do you see my screen?
Yes.
Okay, so we have had, I'm the past chair of IEEE Montreal section and chair of Women in Engineering Montreal. And for the year 2020, we have had a successful year in terms of events. We started with a panel on advising women in STEM conference on February 19. We celebrated International Women in Engineering Day on June. It was a virtual event on June 30. That will be followed with that. It was followed by the mobile application webinar that was organized on July 17 using the Google Meet platform. We have organized an international intellectual property workshop on August 14 on Google Meet also. And we have had a successful event in collaboration with the Ordre des Ingénieurs du Québec. And that was about the path to become an engineer with the OIQ. And it was organized on November 6th. It was a very successful event, and the recording is available on the section's website. For the year 2021, we are planning to organize a workshop on 3D game programming. So it was a very successful event in terms of organizing, it was a very successful year in terms of organizing events, despite the the pandemic situation. The only issue is the low attendance in virtual events. We noticed that we need more time for event promotion and we need help for event promotion.
Yeah.
So that's it about the women in engineering.
Thank you, Saida. That's a very good point. Like, as I mentioned, like all the events, if we start advertising them like ahead of time, like a month or two, we will see and we will see more attendees and more participants in our virtual events. So this is very important.
Exactly.
So I can go next if you want.
Yeah, go ahead. So then share, let me make you co-host and share your screen.
So do you see my screen?
Yes.
Is it full screen or the second screen?
No, full.
It's full.
Okay, thank you everyone. So I guess I should say Happy New Year, everyone. This is our first meeting. And I wish everybody has started a really very good year. Hopefully it's gonna be very prosperous year for everybody. My name is Mansour and I took the office as the chair of IEEE Young Professionals Affinity Group in the Montreal section from June 2020. It was a great pleasure that IEEE put the trust on our team. And so I first introduce our team. We are a big team. So we are one of those big teams in the Montreal section. We have many volunteers and some volunteers are working as event-based. These volunteers that you see in this picture, they are active volunteers. They are working with us like every day working. So we are very strong collaborations with our team members. What I did when I took the office, not only just to be careful about the diversity, but about the nationalities, so about the universities as well. We have volunteers from INRS, from Polytechnique, from Concordia, from McGill, from ETS, so from all universities. So what I did, I bring all the students from different student branches, from different universities, and I tried to be equal, like female and male, like 6 by 6 to be equal. So it was really tough job, but I did this to make sure that everything is in order. So we have started our work in July 2020 by a very successful workshop to have almost 110 participants on board for almost 4 hours and a half. And it was really interesting. And we had participants from different time zones. So this event was, even though our first event, but it was really successful in terms of participants. And it was our first experience to learn how it works. And we learned a lot from this event and just applied those mistakes in the upcoming events to make it more efficient. Then we got the opportunity to collaborate with the IEEE CCTA conference that has been held in Montreal in last year. And as a part of this conference, there was a workshop, and that we created is an interactive machine learning in control systems. So thanks for Professor Amir Afghan that put the trust in us, and we organized this workshop by providing 2 speakers, 1 high profile from Washington University. So this was also in collaboration with the Control System Society. It was really successful event. And then I got the opportunity to talk to the guys in the IEEE YP Ottawa, because I have seen they are really active. So I approached them and I offered them to collaborate with us in our further events. So what I did, I tried to first bring them in a couple of our events, and then we get into used to collaborating their events. So these events that you see right over here, we got the opportunity to co-host their events in 2 events, and one is upcoming in March 2020, already scheduled. So we already had 3 successful collaborations, but the biggest successful collaboration will be the next one, as I will introduce. So the next event in collaboration with the IEEE YP Ottawa is going to be certifying the path to becoming a professional engineer. As Saida mentioned, the Montreal version has been already proposed by Saida. So this is going to be Toronto version, like in Ontario version. For those that, like me, their French is awful. So,
and for those who wants to live in the Ontario.
Yeah, or take the certificate and came back to Montreal. This is another plan.
Yeah, exactly.
So what we did, again, thanks to IEEE Montreal section to put trust on me to let us lead the IEEE day. It was like before the lockdown, so we got the opportunity to go outside and bring our guys, and we tried to make a couple of nice videos. So they are available on the Montreal section, and they are so funny if you watch them. So here we bring two speakers as well to give the community in Montreal a technical talk. So this one also was like one of those successful events. And it was really like necessary to gather our team in person within the pandemic to shake our hands together. So it was really good. But our biggest event was bringing 5 IEEE fellow members from Flagship research groups around the globe. So what I did, I approached some of my my network. I already had a very minor contact with these professors. So I asked them to like, if they are interested to join us as the keynote speaker. So to have a wide like audience, to target wide audience, what I did, I first approached Vancouver section to have their technical chapter. And then I invited Ottawa, Toronto, and Turkey to have them as the co-host. So in this event, we had over 400 registrants and almost 300 participants. So this was a very successful event, even though the timing and the virtual platform like created some problems, but in overall, it was really, really successful. Next, we organized an event with the Belfast University, and we invited INRS, and thanks Moin for their excellent contributions in this event. And we invited Polytechnique Montreal as well to co-host this event. Also, IEEE YP Ottawa. So we have a very strong relationship with YP Ottawa, and they are sharing their events with us, and we are doing the same. So my next goal is gonna be like inviting all the student branches in Montreal to contribute in our events as well, because we have a lot of events to be scheduled in coming months, and that would be so kind of them if they wish to collaborate with us. So these are our next events and already scheduled. So we got the opportunity to work with the companies, some flagship companies like Ericsson, in optical communications, Opus, and Keysight Technologies, to have them in different events. So our next event is going to be reinforcement learning, which is going to be a very interactive event like the LaTeX one that we already set up as the first event. And it's already scheduled for March 2021. And then we will have 3 more events next. So far so good. There is no problem. We have a big team. We have a big contributors. And so if there is any question, I would be happy to answer.
Thanks, Mansour. That's great. Great job and great initiative to collaborate with other affinity groups like young professionals from Ottawa and from other chapters and societies. That's really good. If the rest of the affinity groups of student branches, they can do the same thing and they can like co-host events with other like cities and other affinity groups. That's really good. And I know that like industry relations also had a meeting with had an event with the Ottawa section as well. So I think Marzi is going to talk about it later. Yeah, that's great. If anyone has any comments on the YP, you can share. If not, we can proceed with the.
Yeah, I just wanted to add a comment that it was really great work, Mansour, and it was really great collaboration that we had with you in 2 hours of your event actually. So it will be great if you because you said that you are interested to involve more all the student branches.
Yeah, of course.
So
that would be great.
yeah, that would be great. So we can arrange to organize like a bigger and more.
More events in queue, and definitely I'm going to invite all the student branches.
Sure.
That's good. That's really good. Okay.
I just want to say that it's very, very impressive what you've been doing, and really appreciate the energy and the successes.
Thank you, Amy.
Yeah, great. Okay, the next is...
one question for Mansour. I think my connection cut out. But sure. This is great that you're collaborating across the provinces. Who's responsible for reporting? Is it you or people in Ottawa? How do you manage these dual events?
So it's on virtual. So what do you mean? It's on virtual. So I'm adding them as the co-host.
No, but when you're reporting in VTools, do you report one event each, or do they report one event? Do you report one event?
I'm the one who reporting, and everybody gets the same credit.
Yeah.
Okay, you can do that. So when you're co-hosting with different chapters, everyone gets credit.
Yes.
That's really neat. Thanks for the clarification.
Yeah.
Welcome.
Yeah, that was a good point actually, and yeah, it's good to know that when you co-host an event, you share like even when you report your event, yes, it's considered as one event for your affinity group.
At the time that you just create the event, you need to add that affinity group or any co-host that you want. There is a code, so they become exactly like you, and they have the same access as the main host has.
Yeah.
So and after the event, by the reporting, it automatically is considered for all the co-hosts. I understand. I honestly learned it at the time that we did it with Mansour, thanks to him. So it was good.
All right, thank you. Thanks for the tips.
Okay, is Mahmoud here? No?
No, for the TISC, they launched a new website, but we should follow up with Mahmoud regarding TISC events.
Yeah, about the TISC, because I remember even in the previous board meeting, he wasn't there as well. And yeah, so yes, we should follow up on this with Mahmoud and see if we want to organize any event or not. So,
I have a feeling that Mahmoud is no longer. I think I haven't heard from him for some time now. I think he just abandoned IEEE altogether.
Okay.
So we need to find a replacement for him, basically.
Okay, so that's good to know. Thank you. Okay, and for membership development, is Melissa here or anyone else?
No.
No.
I think that we should follow up with Melissa too regarding.
As well. Yeah. And about the life members, I think Anna, they're already presented the updates. So let's go. Yeah, for the flagship events, Industrial Relations Committee, Marzi, you want to share your screen or?
Yes, sure.
Okay. And
can you give me access?
Yeah. Go ahead.
Yes. So I'm presenting for IEEE Montreal Industrial Relation. In 2020, we have our 7 IEEE research booths that's happening virtually on October 21st. We had 3 invited speakers coming all from industry. It was very well received, and we had this event with Zoom. Then we also in February have a joint event with IEEE EMBS from Ottawa. That happening February 1st. We have a speaker, and we also have planned to have our 8th IEEE research booth probably in October 2021. I hope we can have this event in person, but in other case, we will have this event again virtually. I also agree that attracting people to participate in virtual event right now is difficult. Maybe students are fed up with having a lot of Zoom meeting through days, so they don't want to have extra virtual event again. So one of my suggestions that if we can have something like the poster presentation that we have previously when we had this kind of events online, maybe this give us the student reason to participate more. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you, Marzia. Rafael, you want to add anything to? Rafael, are you there? No? Okay. Yeah, that's good to mention that, like for the industry relations, the research boost, like previous years, we had like a lot of participants because of the poster presentation and the competition that was there, and also the great speakers from the industry. But like last year, it was only the presentations, and we had a lot of registrants, but they did not show up a lot. So I think we had around 30 participants, if I'm not mistaken.
No, I think it was about 50, but compared to the previous events that we have in person, it was more than 100 participants. So I think maybe this is one reason that the number of participants got less. And the other thing that right now that we have all this event virtually, we can take advantage of that and involve the other cities' events. And this time, I think I've noticed that some people from India also register for events. That's nice that we can have this kind of event globally. And probably if we advertise more, we can have and attract more researchers all around the world for this kind of events.
Yeah, I agree. And as social media is very important, so I think industry relations as an active Facebook page and also Twitter account, and these are all very helpful to advertise and to let more people know about your events. And the point that Saida mentioned about the timing is very important. If we plan our events ahead of time, so we have more time to attract people. So this is a key here. Yeah, thank you.
And that's Rafael. Sorry about that. Before I was on mute, and it took me time to unmute myself. But yeah, everything that's happening with the industrial relation, I mean, is great, and I encourage Marisa to continue what she's doing. Doing a great job.
Great, thanks, Rafael. Okay, and
I'm just wondering for Marisa, first off, very good what you're doing. Is there a way maybe to collaborate with another section, and take advantage of it being virtual, and maybe do a Montreal Toronto or Montreal Ottawa research booth?
Yes, Marcy.
Yes, true. Yeah, it's also we have this connection right now, so we can, I think, we build more joint events with Ottawa at least, and also if we find connection from other city like Toronto, at least the time zone is okay if you want to merge event at the same time.
Yeah, the last.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Say.
Fabrice was the area East chair of the East area, and he already sent an email to all section chairs in order to invite them and encourage them to collaborate, to let like chapters of different sections and affinity groups to collaborate and organize virtual events. So I think that Amid Reza, he mentioned that in, this week on the region meeting. So we can get other chapters, like other collaborations from other sections.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, that's a very good idea. I see that like IEEE Montreal, different committees and different affinity groups, they have already started this. This is a very good initiative. And the last event from Industrial Relations, as Marzia mentioned, was in collaboration with the IEEE Ottawa EMBS Society, and that's a good start. You can like expand it to other cities like in Toronto and the rest. And that, yeah, this is very promising. Let me share again my screen. I don't think if Fabrice is here for the.
No, he's not here.
About the conferences and symposiums. So we go through the conferences and Canada events later. And so about the IEEE Day, it's going to be this year in October. And of course, this is again is a virtual event. And we hope that YP is going again to help and
yeah, sure.
Yeah, make it another success.
Yeah, we will start this year a couple of months earlier to have more content, hopefully.
Yeah.
But the problem is I tried very hard to invite the student branches to gather in Montreal, in Montreal Park. It was really hard and I couldn't get one of them. So that's why our team gathered together and we did everything together. So this time, what I'm expecting from the student branches, hopefully they are going to collaborate with us to at least send a representative.
Yeah. Yeah, the good point here is that we have now Moin as the student branch coordinator, and he can help to bring all the student branches together.
At least Moin should come.
Sure. Sorry, last time I wasn't in Canada, so this year I will do it for sure, at least.
Anyway, it's a pleasure, and we will start this year a couple of months earlier. No problem.
Sure, of course.
Great. That's great.
And we can also collaborate with other sections in the area.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, that's what I was thinking about it. So I'm going to approach Ottawa to see what they think about it.
Yeah, that would be great. Thank you, Mansour.
And about the IEEE Extreme, also this one is in October, and we want to know if any of the student branches are interested. I don't think if anyone except Concordia is present here. So, and also we need a proctor for that. Any ideas and suggestions?
Do we know if it's going to be in person or virtual?
I think it's virtual.
I received an email that the IEEE Extreme in the general, they are looking for ambassadors, but they didn't mention yet that it's in person or virtual. But I think it will be eventually be in virtual.
Yeah. So for this, I think, Moin, again, we should reach out to all the student branches and see.
I already wrote that, sure. I will send an email that if I see if anyone is interested to do that.
Sure, great, thanks. And for the gold medal awards, I think Another already explained about that, and we are already updated. So for the IEEE Canada events, we have some conferences to be held in Montreal, of course, virtually. And the most recent one that we were in contact with them was the 4th 5G World Forum. And this one is going to be both like hybrid, as they mentioned, but it's I believe it's going to be virtual after all. And this is in October. And the rest of them, we have ICC, and also we have PEDS and World Haptics Conference. If anyone has any comments, or if any of the co-organizers are present here, if you want to make any comment, please go ahead.
It would be great if we can organize events in conjunction with those conferences, even virtual.
Yes, that's a very great point, Saida. Thank you. I already wrote it here to mention that like even young professionals and women engineering, so in most of the conferences, they have been involved before. So it's a great opportunity. If you want to organize an event, you reach out to the conference organizers and plan your events ahead. And that's a great opportunity, because for sure you have more attendees when you like have this co-hosted with the conference organizers.
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay. So Hossein, you want to go ahead and for the financial?
Sure. I can go over it in a few slides, and in the interest of time, I'll try to keep it brief. So as to let you know, in terms of the financial update, what you see here are some of the major items of previous year. I haven't listed all the items. The income, the major income we received was from, can we stay on the same slide?
Right.
So then we received the section rebate for the 2019 year on the order of 16,000. And for the IEEE EPEC conference, which I will get to in the next few slides, we received around 100K, which was essentially to reimburse some of the expenses that were taken out of the section's bank account. The Starcom's sponsorship, which is on the order of 5,000, and some chapter funds which we received in order to support the organization within the section. We hope that the student branch rebate for the 2020 year will be better, since in previous years there was no annual reporting done, and that led to $0 being injected into the section's account. So hopefully that should be remedied this year. In terms of expenses, well, the gold medal award for not last year, but the previous year was expended, which is funded through the ICF endowment. We held some section events at the beginning of the year, but then due to COVID, it died down and we only had virtual events. And we procured a Zoom Pro license, which is valid for 1 year, which is around $200. And the good news, or it's the bad news at the same time, is that the AGM and the banquet was all virtual, so we didn't have the luxury of seeing each other. But at the same time, it meant that we did not expend a huge amount from the section, which normally leads to a deduction in the account balance for every year. So in general, the balance of the section, the Canadian one, is around 109,000, and the USD is resting at 17,000. And normally we use both accounts at the same time. Sometimes there are some expenses which are required in US dollars, so we use that account. But more or less, the Canadian account is more active. Also, the 2020 financial report has been submitted to IEEE Finance, and it's now under review. And it's been submitted before the, you could say, an early bird date that allows us to benefit from 10% more rebate on the section's annual income. Can we go to the next slide, please? Okay, so What I've shown here is the income sheet that has been reported to IEEE. These are the actual numbers that have been reported. And I don't want to go over the entire details, but I'd like to highlight some key factors here. First thing you'll notice is under the expenses of 2019, there is a huge deduction of 21,000 for meetings and social events expense. That is contributed because of the BOD meetings that we held every year, the AGM and the banquet, and other social activities. Another factor is also the 4.6, 4.7, 4.8, which are all the expenses related to holding technical talks, professional events, or student activities. If you compare the same expenses for 2020, you will see that it has been significantly reduced. So what you're talking about is lower expenses and the lack of an organized in-person AGM led to a positive net profit in this fiscal year. Although there is a big amount contributed, the conference revenue in 2020 is 99,000. Even if you do not factor that and focus only on the expenses, as you can see on the second bullet point, you're looking at around 37K versus 8K of expenses just for events in the previous year. So this is one factor why we have a net income this year, as opposed to the general trend of a decrease, which we've agreed that has been okay since we already receive income through conferences. We go to the next slide. Okay. And in terms of the balance sheet, which summarizes how much assets and liability we have in the section, we started in the previous year, 2019, at 18,000 in the Canadian bank accounts. The reason was that the funds were taken out for the EPAC conferences for holding the local arrangements. And we received this income back in 2020 in order to compensate the withdrawals in 2019. So the reason why there is a huge net income in 2020 is because of the reimbursement of expenses. So in general, the financial status of the section is healthy. We have money to expend, but at the same time, we need to be careful since the section rebate may not be the same as previous years due to COVID. So we'll wait and see until the exact amount that we receive from IEEE, is it the same as previous years or not? Before I move on, do you have any questions on the finance updates?
I think I have a comment maybe or a suggestion to sort of keep in mind when there's more information about the rebate. But we're hearing this difficulty with getting high attendance in some of the more local events, and I'm wondering whether some of this extra income, which we're not spending on pizzas and food at events, can be put to use to help incentivize participation, so that people who sign up for events actually have a reason to attend virtually as well. So just wanted to kind of to note that, depending on obviously how things move with the general rebates, but that's a strategy I've seen elsewhere, which seems to be pretty effective for actually getting engagement at events.
I agree with you. We are right now at a point where we need to use the funds. Otherwise, we'll look at an increase in the sections account balance, and we are not expending it for our own members within the section. So I completely agree with you. The only trick is we have to be smart in a way of attracting audience or the attendees in this virtual environment, and we have to think of strategies, as you said, on gathering numbers without expending without any reason. So I think one of the initiatives that probably you are going to talk about later is a very good way of engaging members, so holding networking sessions or something of that sort.
Sorry, I didn't catch that. So actually targeting members, you can be the ones that can benefit from these types of incentives. Is that the idea?
Oh, what I was referring to is more along the lines of holding events that provide value to members. So
okay, yeah.
such as a networking event that you organized last year. I think that is a direct value to the Photonic Society, but similar aspects can be thought of for other sections or other societies. But we are looking for suggestions. If you come across an idea of an event or something of that sort, you can always approach us and we can discuss a budget, and it will be can be discussed within ExCom.
Hussein, I do have a question. I already asked from Said about it. So regarding the other IEEE Day event and AGM, so if you remember, we had a video specialist. So like I already told him that we are going to partially compensate you, like not too much, but partially. So I got a problem to how to compensate. I had in mind like maybe $80 or 100 gift card, but I don't know how to spend and what to buy and how to buy. Like, is it normal to buy a gift card, or I don't think so. Like paying cash or like check is normal. What do you think about it?
How much did he ask about?
Almost 80 or 100. Well, actually, he didn't ask. I told him that we are going to partially compensate. So that's what I have in my mind, like maybe between 80 or 100.
Okay.
So like we already have the card, but I don't know how we can use it for this purpose.
And maybe Hussein, the treasurer, he can answer your question.
I mean, it's work that he has done for the section. So from what I understand, there's no problem of writing him a check, but it will not be categorized under the same code number in the annual report. So it will be reported as a payment to an individual, which will then be questioned by IEEE, and we can provide a justification that it was for this for the video that he edited. So if you want to go through that route, I don't think it's a problem as long as the number is reasonable and has been agreed upon by the ExCom.
So what I mean, what's your final recommendation? Like I didn't get your point. Like what we're gonna do?
If he quoted $80 or $100, we can provide that amount if ExCom approves it.
Okay.
Yeah. Amy, you can let me know if my understanding is correct, since you have more experience in that area. Okay. So anyways, I think what you can do is let us know by email, Mansoor, so that we can officially discuss it within the ExCom, and we can then take a formal decision on it.
Yeah, for sure. Thank you.
For IEEE Day and for the AGM, right, Mansoor?
Yeah. If you remember, I have email chain.
Yes.
I changed with you and checked with you already that this is gonna be like something we have to consider.
Yeah.
Okay, any other questions? Okay.
Hi, Hussein. I have a quick question. What's the latest that you need the expenses for last year, like for the AGM and everything?
Oh, well, it can be rolled on to the next year. I don't think there's a deadline on it.
Okay, great answer. Thank you.
It will be reported in the January of 2022 or 2021.
Okay, thank you very much. Bye.
I'm sorry for the interruption. Just one more quick question. So we already got the positive reply from Star Icon for supporting our events. And we already have the email chain that they told us, okay, we are gonna like reimburse for $300. But I don't know how it works. And so I don't know how we can approach them. Like, what is the strategy for that to like remind them, okay, once upon a time you told us that you're going to reimburse, and I don't know, like, is it a good time to ask, or is it too late?
I'm not too sure. I haven't had much experience with interacting with StarCom for events. I only asked them for their annual support. But I believe you can contact Maru Basanez. I think that's her contact.
Yeah, that's
Starcom. Yeah, and you can remind her about this previous discussion.
Okay. Okay, sorry, go ahead.
Okay, so jumping on from the financial updates, I'd like to move on more to the website. I guess this will add value to our discussion here on the involvement and the activity within the section. So here, what you see here are the analytics in terms of the number of active sessions for every month of the year for 2020 and 2021. Well, let's say January to January for the two previous years. And what I've shown on the bottom are the number of vTools reported events for every month for the previous year. So just as before in the previous BOD meeting, there was when I discussed this, there was a dip in March, April, and May due to the start of this pandemic. And then after that, we had a huge boost of events in June and onwards. And you can see some of the key events which were organized, including the Keynote Event, IEEE Day, Research Boost, IEEE Extreme, etc., etc. But in general, we did have fewer number of reported events when I extracted it from vTools. So you're looking at 69 vTools reported events compared to 101 in the previous year. So we hope that in this year, now that we've more adjusted to this virtual environment, we'll be able to compensate for these numbers. You may remember that from previous meetings that the rebate that we receive from IEEE is a function of the number of members we have in this section, and as well, it accounts for the number of reported events as well. So the more active we are, there's a higher incentive for us to receive income from IEEE in order to expand for our local members. Let's go to the next slide. Just as a reminder, on the section website, under Documents, there's a sub-web page called Event Tools. If you're unfamiliar with how to organize an event in IEEE, how to create a vTools page, how to report it, and how to reimburse your events, you can always read through this page, which is available both in English and French. I highly encourage you to go through it if you are a first-time organizer within the section. And feel free to share this information with your colleagues in case they're unfamiliar with how IEEE Montreal section works. Let's go to the next page. So a new web page that's been created on the section website is the virtual event guidelines. It's right under the event tools that we talked about previously. And it includes all the information that you need in order to organize virtual events. So it talks about the different platforms that are available, such as Google Meet, Zoom, and WebEx meetings, and talks about general guidelines on how to set up Zoom. So for instance, Zoom has a very annoying feature, I would say, where you can add a waiting room, and every second when someone joins, you have to admit them. But in this guideline, we recommend that you remove that parameter so that you can have a very smooth running sessions. So in general, Google Meet is available for free with your IEEE.org account, where it can support up to 250 participants, and the attendees don't need a Gmail account to join. And this is a very good platform to be used if you want to organize an event for your society chapter, for your student branch, for your affinity group. If you need to access a event with more than, let's say, 100 or 250 participants, you can request for a WebEx meeting link from IEEE. This can be done within 2 to 3 business days, I believe. And it can support up to 1,000 participants using the WebEx meetings platform. The third part is the Zoom Pro license that the section is procured. It can support up to 100 participants maximum. And unfortunately, Mansoor had the experience of not letting in more people for the event, which is a problem with the current license that we have. So before you plan your virtual event, it is very important to know that how many participants are you expecting? If you expect more than 100, you do not need to use the Zoom Pro account that the section has. I highly encourage you to request for a WebEx meetings link and directly from IEEE. I think, Mansoor, you raised a point on why we have used the Zoom Pro account. We made a decision in the beginning when we procured the license, and to give you an estimate, if we want to request for a higher number of attendees for our Zoom account, I think the expense would significantly increase. I guess if you move from Zoom Pro to Zoom Business, first of all, you cannot request for one single host. You have to request for 10 hosts, and number comes to $2,700. There are some features which I believe would be interesting, such as Zoom meetings and the other one, which I'm blanking out here, which can add some more participants. But the reason why we procured the Pro license is because most IEEE events within the section usually have less than 100 participants, and it's only very rare, maybe 1 or 2 per year, that these numbers exceed. And for those events, we encourage the entities to use the WebEx meetings. There would not be any significant reason why we need to procure a license for a higher number of participants.
Hussein, can I add something? If so, especially for Mansoor, if you expect that you will have more than 100, we have a Zoom that it supports up to 300. So, okay.
That's great to know. Thank you.
Yeah.
But the events of Mansoor, they surpass 300.
Yes.
Yeah, so I think WebEx is your best bet. Maybe even request IEEE to increase beyond 1,000. I mean, at some point.
I successfully approached IEEE one time, and they created an account for me. They gave me the platform, but it was too late. Like I had to use my personal WebEx Polytechnique, so I had no choice. And the University of Montreal noticed about it, and they shut down WebEx in the middle of event because they thought that I'm using as a commercialized rather than the personal room. It should be personal. Anyway, it has been passed, and as you just mentioned, these kind of events are really rare, so we don't have often those events. Thank you.
Yeah, I mean, as long as we don't have these events maybe every week, I think at that point only then we can move towards.
Actually, if we have events every week with close to 1,000 people, I'd be very happy and pleased for IEEE section to support it.
Yes, exactly. I mean, I think then we have a different reason for procuring the high license. Okay, so as you may know, we have also a page called Event Recordings. Due to once we prepare the Pro license, there's a feature where you can record your events, and we've noticed that this is a very good way of promoting activity within the section and showing the previous events to our members who could not attend it at the time. So yeah, you can go to this page and view the different videos. They're all professional, technical from let's say.
Yeah, and I would like to thank you, Hussein, for your great effort to update this page and to put the YouTube snapshots on the website. They look very nice.
Well, just to correct you, they're not snapshots. You can actually play the videos on the website too.
Ah, okay. Yeah, I can play them, yeah.
So yeah, it's a great resource. Maybe if you want to become an OIQ member, that's a good starting point. Or maybe you want to see the previous research boost. If you missed it, you can always view it again. Or how to write a technical paper.
Yeah, that's great.
Thank you very much, Hussein.
I'm glad to help. And all of this is essentially hosted or posted under the Montreal section YouTube channel. We started it last year. And as you can see, there are already lots of videos there, including the videos that YP has edited and created for IEEE Day. So for all of you attending, or you can also inform your colleagues, if you have events that you organized, and if you have a recording of the event, I highly encourage you to send us the link or send us the recording, and we'll be happy to post it on the section website, as well as also the YouTube channel. I guess this is a very good resource for archiving and also for ensuring the continuity of our section in this virtual era.
And they can also send you the banner for events promotion on the website.
That's true.
And I think everyone should subscribe to this channel and promote it. If you can share it with your colleagues, your friends.
Sure. I have just a quick question. We had an event in last week, and we want to upload the recording file. But we already created a YouTube channel for the student branch in INRS. Should we upload our videos there, or you want all the student branch and the affinity groups to record their files in the YouTube channel of the section to be integrated in one channel?
That is a good point. We don't have any requirement that the video must be posted under the Montreal section website, but it provides a good central platform so that everyone can view it. So I think it's encouraged if you send us the video and we can post it there,
Okay.
but it's not a requirement.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Great.
It would be great to post the events recording on the section website, and you can also do it on your own web YouTube channel.
Okay, sure. Thanks.
You're welcome.
Thanks, Hussein, for the explanations and the financial report and all these initiatives. Great initiatives in this YouTube channel is great, and we will see later, in a year or two, when we go back and look at the events, then we understand how important it was, and it is. So let's go to the membership development. Mohammed, you want to go through it?
Okay. So hi again, everyone. This is I guess the story of the decrease that we have in the membership of IEEE each year. I guess this year specifically, I was looking at for the Montreal section. I mean, I guess it is the same story for all other sections. We have actually a more decrease in the number of memberships in January. I guess the same pattern should be here as well for 2021. So we have a decrease in January until February, and then there is an increase in the number of members in the Montreal section. More or less, I can say that the total number of members of IEEE overall and also in Region 7 were following the same pattern. I guess this year, due to the COVID and everything, we have this more decrease in the numbers, but I guess this is an issue that IEEE faces each year. We had a couple of ideas, I guess, in previous years for how to increase the number of members of at least Montreal section. I guess we would be happy if you have new suggestions or new ideas for increasing the number of members. Otherwise, I guess IEEE has to, I guess many of the events we had this year, these virtual events, IEEE has to actually cope with non-members attending its meetings or its events. But anyway, I mean, we are happy if you have any suggestions for increasing the number of members. If you have ideas scholarships or I don't know, other incentives for students, for undergraduate and graduate students for becoming a member of IEEE, we would be happy to hear that. And just the next slide is also, I have like added like this by the number of members actually in Montreal section by like the grade. So the most numbers are like the IEEE members and then the graduate students. I mean, also ideas if we can actually attract undergrad students or like overall new student members, that would be very welcome. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, great. Thanks, Mohammed. And I think it's good to mention that the IEEE has this initiative for the 50% discount for all the students for the new recruitment or for the renewal. I think you already shared that information in our e-notice. Yeah.
Yes, it is in the e-notice, and also there is an offer also for like from time to time for some of the like chapters of IEEE. There are offers that you can like add those chapters to your membership. We have like mentioned that in the e-notice, and the moment we have like other offers, we will like add that to the e-notice.
Yeah.
Yeah, I also highly encourage that Moeen shares this information with all the student branches so that they can disseminate the information as well to their students as well.
Sure.
If you see from this graph, I think the number of student members, not graduate student members, is very low, or at least the percentages are very low. So I think that can be one area that we can improve on in this section.
I'd be interested to see the student membership change over the years, because I have a feeling COVID did a number on student membership. We're usually very high in student membership in Montreal because of all the great work that the branches do and the young professionals and really reaching the students. And I think with COVID, there isn't as much incentive for them to join because there aren't the in-person activities. Like they're participating online without joining, which is fine. But I would just be curious to see if there was a big change this year over previous years.
Yeah.
Thank you, Amy. I think also that we should recruit a new volunteer for the membership development so that he can establish strategies to increase the membership of the section. Maybe encourage the collaboration among affinity groups and student branches to organize engineering activities so that we can increase the membership in the section.
There is one thing that can be considered also. Hamid Reza also mentioned that there are quite a bit of conferences that are coming to Montreal, and most or all of these are going to be held virtually. For example, looking at ICC's website, student member IEEE ComSoc student member registration is $0. So if you can just promote on this, that could be a good tool to attract more IEEE student members. There are some other conferences like this too, requiring either $0 or just a tiny amount of symbolic registration amount for student members, mostly because of this whole virtual conferences going virtual.
Yeah, that's a good idea. I think we need to elaborate on this, on the discounts and also all the other things like different societies and different chapters that you don't have to pay for them, or like that's very, as you said, very small amount of money. Yeah,
exactly.
Those chapters. Yeah.
Like that ICC regular registration is about $350 US, and
yeah,
for student members it's free.
How is the IEEE being promoted to the students in this online world? Like without pizza, it's very hard to get IEEE members.
Pizza is a good point. Yeah, there's no pizza, but at least there are a lot of students who are, at least for, I can speak for the graduate students part, conferences is a big deal for them because like they want to get notified and they want to also get familiar with the state-of-the-art research related to their field. So that's how we can try to attract them.
Yeah. So
Maybe.
Graduate students
minus the pizza.
Yeah. Graduate students know about IEEE through their research and their publications, and there's a lot of attraction. It's the undergraduates that, that are, I'm just not seeing how to reach them on an online world because, you know, the fact that you got so much activity happening with the student branches, I'm like totally impressed. But I really see that as being difficult in this day to not have the ability to reach the student members, and they don't even know about IEEE.
You're right. Yes. In order to reach more student members that are undergraduates, I think we have to be at a place that are most relevant to them. One way is the more recent social media tools that was mentioned before, like Discord and Instagram, I guess. And that,
yeah.
I have a quick comment. So with respect to our experience to deal with the undergraduate students and attracting them to IEEE, the events that the nature of event can help us because, for example, when we held IEEE LaTeX, an event on LaTeX, most of the attendees were undergraduate students. So first of all, they didn't know that there is something like IEEE. So we presented what is IEEE and who we are. And at the end of the event, we got the questions about, okay, since you are holding this event, how we can join like these kind of activities or IEEE. So I think planning events to be more suitable for undergraduate students would be a good option to attract them.
Sorry, all I have to leave.
Okay.
Thanks for the meeting.
Thank you.
Bye.
Well, it's already 8, and so for the keynote, Furkan, you want to go through like what you did and the
sure, quickly, under a minute. We had from the previous meeting minutes, actually, we had an initial list of speakers that were first initially thought to be, it's better to have a women speaker, but then we, Amy, I think, mentioned that it doesn't really have to be a woman speaker, it can be anyone. So we went forward with this initial list of candidates from different affiliations and different research areas that are really pioneers on their field. And we have asked the ExCom members to somehow score them to prioritize in order to create this list to reach them, to be able to reach them in order. So according to this, we have a really large tie based on the votes. There are not many votes either. So in this sense, we have the first 4 potential speakers, and let me pull up their information from from my screen. Okay, so we have Marta Grover. She's a member of NSF and NASA, a Center for Chemical Evolution. Her research area is like photonic materials. We have Muriel Medard from MIT, and she works on wireless networks and information theory. We have now Lee, but I found out that she's on leave this year, so I'm not sure we'll be able to reach her. And finally, we have Somaya Sojode, whose research area is optimization and machine learning. So So for the keynote event that's going to take place, I think we are considering two of them. One is the earlier one is going to be in spring, either April or May. If it's going to be either of these months, I think it's important to get in touch with any of the candidates as quickly as possible to reserve our space in their calendar. So if there's anyone who would like to make a comment or promote for any of these speakers, anyone is welcome.
I encourage the greater board. You know, I think the asking of the ExCom was just to get a feel for it, but really everybody at this meeting should really have a say. I'm almost tempted that you run a quick poll.
Yes, that was a really quick poll and with very few votes actually, and not everyone have voted, I believe. Yeah. So this does not, the voting ranking does not really reflect the real ranking, most probably, but this is what we had.
Yeah, like if anyone is, if anyone has any comment, I think you can share. And if you like your idea and your opinion is with one of these speakers, you can write it down in the chat and we can count it and add it to the votes.
We poll the wider board and those group leaders who aren't here today as well, or are we trying to get a decision today?
We go ahead.
No. It's important to get in touch with them within in a week's time. For April, May.
Yeah, it's good to have like an idea here, but if you want to think about it, we can share it with those who are here in the meeting, and then like wait for the answer for in a day or two if you can send it to us. But here that this is like more preferable if you share it here.
I think and plus we only need the spring one now. We can have a whole different list for the fall.
Yeah. Okay, so then we have like our roundtable presentation. So I think whoever has not yet presented himself or herself, please let me stop sharing because I don't see anyone.
Maybe I can start.
I was going to ask to start because I had to leave 4 minutes ago. So if that's okay with you, Tarek,
okay.
Thank you, appreciate. Share screen. So, could you let me on to share screen, please?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. So yes, I'm reporting on behalf of Professor Odile Liboiron-Ladouceur, who sends her excuses and she can't be here tonight. I've joined the chapter officially as treasurer for 2021, and my name is Matthew Posner. I'm based at ExCom Technologies in Vaudreuil as a process scientist and also an education enthusiast in my spare time. So our flagship event this year was the 4th Montreal Photonics Networking event, which we hosted at the end of October. This was a online and free event, which had a couple of keynote speakers from local industry, and we set up a poster competition with cash prizes and online networking. We really kind of grew on the success that we did from the relaunch last year of the in-person event and kept a lot of partners local to Montreal and Quebec to be able to keep growing the event and accessing new audiences. And one thing that we trialed and which was really fun and engaging was a poster competition on a Vremo platform, which is sort of like a wedding banquet room online. So we had 20 presenters from all the universities in Montreal, graduate researchers, as well as some representation from Sherbrooke, 15 judges from the industry, 17 attendees, and that was including 15 students from Secondaire 4 from Villa Maria College. So this platform was also used for sort of career panels, and that was sort of very, very interactive as well. We really focused on getting the social media, the word out through social media in the sort of few months that led up to that, and that was measured just through our sort of individual accounts with more than 5,000 LinkedIn views for those posts related to the events, and more than 150 respondents to both LinkedIn and Facebook. So yeah, generally pleased for digital transformation, and that adds to another IEEE Distinguished Lecturer, which Odile hosted back in May of 2020. I think probably some of the most, what we learned from this actually was there's a lot of brainstorming. When everything went COVID, we had to reimagine the event, try new platforms, do brainstorming. So it was great to have support from IEEE Montreal with the Zoom account that we made use of for the keynotes. But we found that Remo, as opposed to other platforms like Slack or Discord, was really quite engaging and interactive to boost participation. And I think we found a lot of things going online, like you get motion sickness from just sitting in front of the camera for hours at a time, using new platforms and actually having people learning how to use those as well. So we kind of had to organize preparation events in advance for those that we really need to be working with the students and the judges to try and get things as smooth as possible. And yeah, it was challenging was I think some of the engagements, people kind of getting online fatigue, and creating meeting rules is something that we'd want to sort of move on going forward. And I think one of the best solutions is kind of continuity. So this was the committee from last year, and all of that experience and lessons learned, we kind of wanted to try and keep on board to move into 2021. We do have a save the date, end of October 29th. For this event going forward, and in between now and then we're hoping to have a few more, maybe some in-person events in the summer, if things calm down and people start getting vaccinated. But yeah, we're really happy with this type of recipe, so we're kind of prepared to go back online with this again, and if a hybrid or an in-person solution isn't going to work. So thank you very much for the opportunity to present, and yeah, so really enriching of going online.
Thank you very much, Matthew. And I only have one comment. I know that Photonics Society in Ottawa, they're very super active. They have a lot of events. If you can join with them, also you can have more actives. You can co-host events with them. So that's just an idea. Like the other affinity groups, you can do the joint events.
Do you know, Emmanuel? I think we have an event scheduled in April, so we can invite you to be co-hosting this event as well.
All right, let's connect after this then, Mansur, and we appreciate hearing what's going on.
That's great.
And it would be great if we can share the recording of the event on the section's website.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So please record it.
Yeah, we actually decided not to record this one, just in terms of privacy and content issues with our industry speakers, who at the time we were just running and experimenting. So no, the decision not to record was very that was decided that we weren't sure how to manage the recordings. So yeah, I think that's an improvement for or something to discuss for future years, and as to how we do that. But thank you for the suggestion, Saida.
Thank you, Matthew.
Thank you. Who's next?
If it's possible.
Yeah, go ahead.
Thank you. Okay, great. Thanks. Well, I will be fast and okay. Well, just tourism the activity last year. Officially, we make 6 events. We collaborate systematically with Kingston, Ottawa, and Toronto. Of course, with some activity with student branch, NRS, or also Polytechnic. Well, last year we have 6 events. As I say, one of them was in collaboration with the student branch. of NRS. We collaborate also. One of the event was the terrorist communication was with Manitoba Station also, and one of, I forget completely the chapter, but US chapters. Well, this year at this moment, we already make the first collaboration. It was with the NRS student chapter and Polytechnic. Tomorrow we have a talk. Will be also in collaboration with EMC and EP Society. Sorry, I'm talking for MTT Society. I forget to present myself, but anyway. Well, we already also program 4 others this year. At this moment, we try as usual to reach 6 to 8 events. We I don't know. We have Edward Ackerman. He will talk about analog photonic system. He proposed to come in person, but I don't know what will be situation in the second part of the year. Ackerman is from Photonic Inc. We have Jean Martinez from Oritsu, is a fellow engineer in Oritsu. He will talk also about the material characterization. And we have also one from MIT. He will talk also about material interaction, RF and light. This year we focus on this interaction, material and microwave will be the topic of this year. This we think is one of we should focus on this part for our next generation communication system. That's it. Thanks a lot.
Thank you very much, Tariq, for the update. So
stop the sharing. Well,
okay.
I could talk, Prof. Champagne. I don't know exactly what is your plan. If we talk about the chapters.
Yeah, go ahead. If you want to share something, I make you.
Oh yeah, 2 minutes. I prepared a few slides. So if you can give me control.
Yeah, I will.
Share screen, I guess. Yeah. Yeah, this is this year we're a bit on slow motion. I mean, it took us. We didn't have a lot of activities, and I'm teaching online, and different things happened. So we have an invited talk. So we were kind of silent for some time, and then we restarted. So November 26th, from Ryerson gave a talk on improving image-guided device steering and navigation for revascularization. Of course, these talks are online. And I started some initiative with Prof. Ahmed Mohammadi. So as an alternative to inviting famous people that anyway, they can do that anywhere in the world. So we came up with some alternative plans. So to better reach members, so in collaboration with ExCom, we introduced a series of short webinars on topic of current interest in the field of signal processing, presented by grad student, PDF, postdoctoral fellows, or local specialists. So we had 2 of this up to now, one in last year, which I will report, and one that occurred like recently, and I'm planning another one. Actually, it turns out to be fun because it's half an hour and students can present their PhD research. So I take the opportunity to invite anybody who wants to just contact me. I can schedule you for the next one is more on, actually it's Fourcan will be presenting as one of the presenter, but I'm looking for someone else. It's preferable if the topics of the 2 seminars are assigned like in either in wireless communication or coding, or the last one was on speech processing example. So the one on November 12 involved 2 PhD students, one from McGill, talking on hybrid analog digital signal processing and massive MIMO communications, and Parney and Afnar from Concordia talking about advanced image processing and deep learning, a problem related to COVID diagnosis based on chest images. So these are the announcements. Actually, the big announcement on the left is what we prepared for the webinars. So it contains all the information. I made that. I had forwarded this to the IEEE section, and it's posted somewhere on the event. And the one on the right is the specific first webinar. This is the two seminars, or one is a formal seminar and with invited guests, and this is the attendance. So we have some reasonable attendance, but I would like to see a bit more. So we'll continue in this way for maybe another 6 months. I guess at some point things will resume to normal, which I'm eager to restart in a normal mode. And yeah, this is what I had to say. 2 minutes. Thank you very much.
Perfect. Thank you very much, Benoit. So who's
I guess I'm probably the only one left.
Okay.
Okay, yeah, if I can quickly share my screen. I will not take more than 1 minute of your time. Yeah. Okay, so just to give a brief update for vehicular technology. We only had one event last year that happened pre-pandemic. We had a distinguished lecturer series by Professor Rui Diniz on achieving high power spectral efficiencies in wireless communications. That took place actually early in the year, on January 7th. We also had another one planned sometime in May that unfortunately didn't happen exactly because of the pandemic. We hope to have a few more activities this year when everything goes back to normal, or maybe online. Okay, so that's all. Okay, thank you.
Okay. Thank you very much for the update. And anyone?
Yeah, just a quick, one of the things to keep in mind is that you can co-host. So if you don't feel you're going to get the activities, if there's a similar chapter, then you can ask them to co-host, so you can hit your 2 activities for the year.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And so what we have is the discussion, open discussion on these topics, like for the AGM and banquet. We hope that this is going to be like in person, but the reality says that it's going to be virtual again.
Yes, and excuse me, I just want to mention that the section celebrates this year its 85th anniversary, and that it would be great if we can brainstorm ideas to celebrate this anniversary on the AGM.
Yeah, that's a very good point, Saida. And I think we should plan it ahead and have a great AGM and banquet for this year.
Exactly.
So any comments, any suggestions?
I would suggest that we organize another meeting. We can have a full board meeting maybe in a couple of months, because we can do it virtually and discuss some of these outstanding issues. There's really not that many people left, and I'm sure everybody's kind of keen. So I would suggest we have another board meeting, and we can do AGM banquet and look at some other issues. I don't know how people feel.
Yeah, that's a good idea, yes, because I think we have only 12 people here left.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yes.
And for the social media specialist, we've been looking for someone to volunteer.
I asked for a couple people, but they weren't interested. I'll try to look more.
Yeah. Yeah, we also share this on LinkedIn and in IRC webpage, and I think IEEE Montreal Facebook page, webpage, but it's still, we're looking for someone. We haven't received any applications. And for the next board meeting, as you said, maybe we need to have another one. Any suggestion about the time?
Maybe in May.
Okay.
It's really good because it's after the exams.
Yeah. Okay. That's it. I think this is, let me stop sharing and see you all.
Can I just ask one question?
Yeah.
From Amy, I sent an email like I think 2 weeks ago about the mistake with my plug for last year.
Yes.
So you're following.
I didn't forget. I'm just slow.
Thanks. No, thanks.
I'll get back to you on it.
That's enough. If you're following.
Yeah. Are you okay if well, sorry, now that I have you online, if we send you another plaque, just the metal part, and could you just glue it over the other one?
If I can do it, yes, I think I can.
Or take
because I don't know how it works, but I think I can glue it if it's only gluing.
Yeah, okay, I'm going to see if that's possible.
Okay, sure.
So it's just getting around to doing it.
Okay. Good.
But I don't even see your other plaque behind you.
Oh. You're allowed it.
Yeah. Okay, thank you very much, everyone, for attending the board meeting. And if you have any comments, please go ahead and make your comments. If not, I wish you a wonderful evening, and I hope to see you all in the next board meeting. And let's keep the IEEE Montreal section active and alive in this current situation. Yeah, after that, I'm pretty sure that this is like one of the best societies and sections in Canada, and this is, the timing is very important, so we have to keep it alive and active, especially during this time.
I meant very good and organized.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
One more comment. Mohammed, good luck for your PhD defense.
Oh yes, Mohammed, good luck.
Oh wow, good luck.
Yeah.
Good luck, Mohammed.
Thank you very much.
Good luck.
Tomorrow, actually, I hope.
We'll nail it.
Wow.
Great.
Is it gonna be online?
Yes, online, of course. Yeah.
So make sure they give the right channel for the YouTube, because what happened on mine, they gave the wrong YouTube channel that I had to broadcast it to everyone that I knew, and it didn't work. So nobody had to see it. So
they already have sent 2 Zoom meetings for the defense, so they have changed it like twice. So I'm trying to find the right Zoom meeting.
Bye.
Good luck.
Thank you. Bye bye.
Bye bye.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.
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 like.
See you.